Hello and welcome to Success Mantra. Today we are going to look at the whole unit of value education according to UGC syllabus. I have divided the whole unit into small topics. Now I do have the entire list of the topics in the description box. If you are looking for that particular topic, then you can check that and click on the right timing. Let's get into the video. In Unit 2, we'll discuss about truth, commitment, honesty and integrity, forgiveness and love, empathy and ability to sacrifice, care, unity and inclusiveness, self-esteem and self-confidence, punctuality, resource management, problem solving, decision making, interpersonal and intrapersonal relationships, teamwork, positive and creative thinking. So let's start.
The value of life is truth. Truth is a term which shows the understanding of the reality or the facts. Truth will always be a truth. It will not be altered. Truthfulness is the greatest and most important of all human virtues. Being truthful always wins in our life.
So the next topic which we are going to look at is commitment. So tell me, are you all committed? Yeah, it can also be the way you think. Committed is in any sense. You can be committed to your life, you can be committed to your studies, you can be committed to your work, anything. You can do anything and everything in your life only if you are committed. Because without commitment, nothing happens. You should always be committed, even if the storm comes or the rain pours. Overcome the heartaches and the pain and the disappointments which you face. But still, you should be committed. Committed with your mind, your energy, your body, your soul, your efforts, your discipline, your tenacity. And definitely one day you will achieve all your goals. Every person in this whole universe has his own commitments. For example, now look at your parents. They have the commitment of educating us. And we, as the children, have the commitment to study and achieve our goals. Doctors to look after the patients, teachers to teach, engineers to build strong buildings, and all of us as citizens to serve the nation. If we fail to do our commitments, everything will end up in a collapse. So, everyone must be committed.
Honesty and integrity. We all know about the story An Honest Woodcutter. In this story, we see that how the honesty of the woodcutter when he refuses the proposal which is not belong to him. He justify honesty in his behavior. Honesty will be rewarded. Honesty is a best policy. Honesty is the quality of being truthful. For example, honesty is telling the truth even after doing something wrong. Honesty is all about in our speaking and in our actions in a truthful manner. Honesty molds our moral character that to be positive and attributes as integrity, truthfulness, straightforwardness. Integrity is the quality of being honest and having strong principles, and it is a state of being a whole and undivided. For example, when we stand up with our values of life, we behave very righteous and truthful in everywhere, not for others, only for ourselves. Then, honesty and integrity both are interdependent and both are needed for good values in our life.
The next topic is forgiveness and love. We all would have heard the saying, forgive and forget. But how many of us truly know what this means and how to do it? Forgiveness involves engaging with a complex series of emotions, anger, pain, frustration, and fear, which most of us try to avoid. Unfortunately, we cannot escape from these feelings in life. Forgiveness is not easy. It is an active, challenging internal process that is specifically to help you. It is the shedding of those negative emotions that hold you back, that prevent you from feeling peace, happiness, and even love. When you hold on to negative emotions like stress, anger, there are chances that you get hurt even more. Maybe you can forget your anger and forgive. Take the baggage of anger which you are carrying and throw it away. Not for others, but for you and your internal peace. There is no love without forgiveness, and there is no forgiveness without love. Honestly speaking, forgiveness is the final form of love. Forgiveness not only builds a relationship, it also builds your health. Greater spiritual and psychological well being, less anxiety, stress, lower blood pressure, fewer symptoms of depression, a strong immune system, improved heart health, and most importantly, higher self esteem.
Empathy and ability to sacrifice. Empathy is the capacity to understand or feel what another person is experiencing with. It is the ability to sense other people's emotions. Conversely, a lack of empathy is the root of most destructive and violent behavior. There are three types of empathy: cognitive empathy, emotional empathy, compassionate empathy. Emotional empathy is when you quite literally feel the other person's emotions. Cognitive empathy, having more complete and accurate knowledge about the another person's mind. Compassionate empathy, it deals with the action of like we help to them. It is the root of compassion and self-sacrifice and charity. In ability to sacrifice, empathy plays a major role.
Now we will look at the topic care. To take care of someone or something means to look after them. It is certainly normal for a mother to take care of the child. Taking care doesn't stop with that alone. It can also be taking care of ourselves, taking care of the old parents, taking care of our loved ones, taking care of the pet animals, and even plants. We all would have heard the saying, sharing is caring. This is a small term, but it has immense meaning in it. It teaches us the importance of giving. So, here are some of the ways by which you can be happy by giving. When you give to the less fortunate, you add to their lives. By adding to theirs, you add to yours too. Giving inspires giving. People who are always in the receiving end might get inspired by you and start giving to others. Giving teaches you responsibility. Giving cultivates self-worth, and giving makes you really happy. The next topic is self-esteem and self-confidence. So the first thing we are going to say is self-esteem. So in this image you can see two $20 notes. The one on the right is perfect, straight and crisp. But the one on the left is folded with lumps and creases. But tell me whether the one in the left appears worthless than the one in the right? Not at all. Both are $20 notes. So the moral is, regardless of how you look like, your worthiness is exactly the same. Love yourself. Know your own worth. Do not compare yourself with anyone else. Just be yourself. And only you can be your own boss. Now we come to self-confidence. So what is self-confidence? Self-confidence is an attitude about your skills and abilities. It means that you accept and trust yourself and have a sense of control in your life. You know all your strengths and weaknesses and have a positive view of yourself. You know your self-worth and you can handle criticism. Even when anyone criticizes you, you know that you will achieve your goal. So here are some of the ways in which you can increase your self-confidence. Give rewards to yourself and praise yourself for your efforts and progress. Set realistic and achievable goals. Do not expect perfection. It is impossible to be perfect in every aspect of life. And the most important thing is, do not be afraid of failure. Failure is the stepping stone to success.
Unity and inclusiveness. Unity is the state of being joined as a whole. State of being one. It is more important to be united. Strength is always with unity. Unity represents togetherness. So it is standing together for every thick and thin matter and say we are one. And here the short story, a flock of pigeons, it was all trapped into the net. They can't able to fly. First, they acted individually with their brothers but didn't work. And then they all joined as a whole and bring up a teamwork with a unity, and they flew away. And it shows the unity is our strength. Unity and inclusiveness involves in the individual activity in a team with unity. In alone, we can do little, but together we can do so much.
Now we will look at resource management. Resource management can be broadly classified into two types. The first one is the environmental or natural resource management, and the second is the business resource management. So first we'll look at natural resource management. Natural resource management is the management of natural resources such as land, water, soil, plants, and animals with a particular focus on how management affects the quality of life for both present and the future generations. Natural resource management is managing the way in which people and the natural landscapes interact. It brings together the use of land, water management, biodiversity conservation, and the availability of sustainable resources like agriculture, mining, tourism, fishery, and forestry for the future generation. Now we look at the business resource management. This can be further classified into the 4 M's. The 4 M's are manpower, machine, method, and materials. First, coming to manpower, it is the skill and technology together used in a productive manner. Second comes the machinery, that is the equipments. We look at that whether our machines are capable of safe and reliable output for the desired quality. Then the third is the method, that is the process, schedule, and procedure. Standard work methods in place which ensure and support consistent and safe production. And the final thing to consider is the material, the raw materials and its qualities. Do they meet the required specifications? Are there no defects and shortages? Are they stored appropriately? So this is what is resource management.
Problem solving and decision making. I think everyone has some problems in their life. They are our unwelcome guests, right? Problems should be solved, not to be carried over like a hunchback. So, every problem has a solution. In a problem, solution is required, and how to acquire it is the most important one. And first, to identify the problem and analyze the problem, determining what to do with the possible solutions, select a plan, implement a plan, evaluate the solution and execute it very well. Don't be so afraid of problem and their decision makings. And now, decision making. Making decision and solving problem are the two key areas in our life. Decision may be small or large, but it should be effective in making it. Both problem solving, decision making is a tough time, and we should face a tough time in a very calm and relaxed mind, and then you can achieve a good solution and a good decision in your life.
Now the topic is interpersonal and intrapersonal relationship. First we'll look at what interpersonal relationships are. Interpersonal relationships are understanding the emotions of others and helping others to interact. It can be empathy, managing relationships, and many more. Now coming to intrapersonal relationships, it is the understanding of your own emotions. It can be said as self-awareness, self-management, self-motivation. So here are some of the ways by which we can differentiate the interpersonal communication with intrapersonal communication. It can be distinguished as the number of people involved and when does it happen, the media used for communication, and many more.
Punctuality. Punctuality is the quality of being on time. In that, we take our daily life example, rooster. We all know about rooster. It is very punctual in crowing when sun rises. Punctuality is a wonderful trait of a person, one to be admired and to be respected. It enables a person to do all the tasks of a day on time and in a best possible manner. If we are punctual, we will not be lazy. It will make us active and healthy. We will be very accurate and to be disciplined and to be self-respected. Punctual people never waste their time, even a second or a minute. It needs patience, positive attitudes, and which enhance into a punctual life. If we are punctual, we will not in a hurry or in a tension. By following punctuality, this makes our life more prominent. Teamwork. Most of us say or use this word for team efforts and cooperation times. So here, teamwork deals with, for example, in a football game, each and everyone should be in the same track. They should be connected from the minds with the same motive and thoughts. When the goal should be done in a team, each and everyone should be alert and they reaches it. Qualities of a good teamwork. It should be in a clear direction and open and honest communication, and to be more persistent and self-challenged with more cooperation in the team. Ants are a very good example for teamwork. Teamwork promotes collaboration, commitment, motivation, dependability among our team with the fruit of success. Teamwork promotes strong working relationships in our life.
Now the topic is positive and creative thinking. First, we'll see positive thinking. But before that, let me tell you a story on positive thinking. Once, there was an army of frogs living near a huge mountain. One of the frogs said, "I wish to go to the top of the mountain." Hearing this, the other frogs laughed at him and they criticized him. One said, "It is impossible." The other, "You can't do it." And yet others said, "You're too small and it is difficult." And some others said, "You will die before you reach half of the mountain. It's a waste of time and be with us." But one day the frog started to climb the mountain, and within 3 days it reached the top of the mountain. Now all the frogs were shocked after seeing him. You guess how he reached the top of the mountain? Yes, the frog was deaf and thus he reached his goal. So the moral of the story is, do not listen to negative thoughts and start moving forward. Nothing is impossible in this world. Now we move on to creative thinking. Creative thinking is nothing but out of the box thinking. It is the ability to look at things differently and find new ways to solve problems. Everyone can be a creative thinker, you and me. So when do you get to think creatively? It is when you expose yourself to wider and diverse groups of people. Grab new opportunities and try doing something which you find difficult, which will lead you to think. These are some of the ways by which you can improve your creative thinking skills.